At the age of 19, Brandon Evertz decided to bypass college and take a $500 loan from his father to build his own company. Today, 4 years later, that company, Big Unlimited, is worth an estimated $500 million. How do you do it? Brandon joins me now. So tell me about your company, Big Unlimited.
Sure.
What is it exactly?
So Big Unlimited is the parent company and Big Review TV is inside that. So Big Review TV is a social video review platform. You might be familiar with traditional text review sites. Our site is a completely video-driven review site.
Yeah, so like travel advisory, but now it has a video so people can watch what this company is about.
Yep, so we create professional videos for restaurants, hotels, bars, cafes, any type of business. We then host that on our platform, Big Review TV, for consumers to see. And then consumers download our app and do their own personalized video reviews on businesses instead of text reviews. So it's B2B, B2C. Yeah.
So tell me, so you started in 2013. Tell me the growth you've seen in the past 4 years.
It's been significant growth. The very first proof of concept money I got was $500 from my dad. And the number one mandate when we started the business was really to generate revenue from its inception, because back then it was living on the smell of an oily rag, you could say. So when we wanted to start a business, it had to generate revenue. So that $500, I got some proof of concept material, sales collateral done up, and then I went out and tested the idea, and then brought in about $8,000, and I brought that back to my father, and he said, "Wow, I think you're onto a good idea." And then we started bootstrapping the business along, found our first investors, they came along, and really the business has really been being bootstrapped along the way.
Yeah, so who are some of those big investors?
The Australian investors, private equity firms and things like that. I mean, we're a public company now, so anyone can buy on market, so that's different, but it was just independent VCs back then.
So what is the market cap of your company today? What's it worth?
Today it's about 570 million. Yeah, 570 million.
Over the last year, the stock has kind of been on a tear a little bit. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's just there's one thing, as a business, you can't control the stock market, obviously.
Yeah.
What we can control is to focus on building the business. And that was the number one, priority that all of the executives had, was to really have laser focus on generating generating revenue and bringing this business to where it needs to be. So over this, few years, the company's nearly been listed 3 years. This New Year's Eve will be 3 years. Growth has been about 50% revenue growth quarter on quarter, especially for the Australian market. That's quite rare to see in a tech company. So, the growth's been very significant.
And you're the youngest CEO founder that's been listed on the Australian Stock Exchange, right?
Yeah, from what we've seen so far, yeah.
So do people in your country compare you to the likes of Mark Zuckerberg and all the tech Snapchat CEO and things like that?
I mean, it's amazing to be compared to that. I mean, what those guys have achieved is absolutely amazing. We've still got a long way to go to get to that sort of stage, but they're massive role models of people look up to, you could say. But Australian young entrepreneurs, it's kind of rare. But the American market, you guys have an amazing culture down here. There's so many young entrepreneurs all the time popping up from everywhere. So that really helped motivate me when we started out with the business. Looking at other young entrepreneurs, i.e. Mark Zuckerberg's a classic example of that.
Yeah.
Steve Jobs, even Rupert Murdoch started very young too. Really just studied those people and really tried to follow in their footsteps, you could say.
So you're not seeing a lot of young entrepreneurs in Australia? Is that what you're saying, or?
There's definitely a culture beginning to really come through. Super successful young entrepreneurs, I haven't seen too many. However, there's definitely now an energy in Australia that's really starting to really promote young entrepreneurs, which is great.
All right, so what markets are you in now?
We're Australia-wide, we're in New Zealand, Hong Kong, Singapore, the US now, London, Canada, and that's it at the moment.
Yeah, so how are you going to attract the US market? What's your marketing plan there?
We've already been operating in the US for about 12 months already, and we've actually already filmed about 1,500 businesses so far over the last 12 months, and we recently acquired a business called Tipsley. The acquisition was really to help beef up our tech, you could say, for our application, for our mobile application, and also what that came with through that acquisition was 100,000 SME relationships in the US. So what we're going to do is start to on-sell our video subscription model, our packages into those 100,000 SMEs over the next 24 months.
Yeah.
We did the same sort of model in Australia. We purchased a company called Intermedia, we purchased their beauty vertical and the hospitality vertical. And between those two verticals, they had about 100,000 SMEs in the Australian market, from beauticians to restaurants, bars, hotels, cafes. And what we started doing is we bought that. It was an old publishing, it's a publishing firm, still very well, works really well today, but it had magazine styles like InStyle Magazine, Hotelier, Bars and Clubs. So what we started to do is on-sell a video subscription model into that database, and we saw amazing results. And that's generally how we like to expand overseas, is look for potential aggregator partners and partner with them and on-sell our video subscription to their database.
Yeah, even though you're still a public company, you're kind of still in the midst of growing. What's been the hardest things for you as you develop this company?
The hardest things from growing this company, I think the hardest things really, there's not a whole lot for this. You know, we've got a great management team, we've got great focus. I think challenges in the early days were finding the right VCs and right backers to potentially invest in the company. We obviously listed we listed nearly 3 years ago, and one of the reasons we listed was because we couldn't find the necessarily right VCs at the time. So a corporate contact introduced us to the listing opportunity and that opportunity, and became really successful for that. But I think finding the right VCs back when we were early days.
Great. Last question. What is your vision for your company 5-10 years from now? What do you foresee?
To be the #1 go-to for video reviews and the #1 go-to for businesses wanting to create a video. So we're a social video review platform, and we want to change the way the way that businesses and consumers interact with each other through video.
Yeah. All right, Brandon. Well, thank you so much.
Thank
All
you.
the best to you.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate your time.
Thanks.